Imagine this. You're standing at that point in life where everything feels broken. Dreams half finished, relationships that slipped away, a strange emptiness echoing inside you. Every morning feels heavier than the last. You wake up and think, maybe nothing will ever change. Maybe this pain is permanent. But my friend, if you found this video, understand something clearly. You are entering the biggest comeback of your life. Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." It means that pain is the path to awakening. The very pain you're drowning in right now is not destroying you, it's rebuilding you. You think life is falling apart, but in truth, life is rearranging itself for your rebirth. Every great transformation begins in darkness. Just like a seed breaks under the soil before it grows into a tree, you too are breaking open to grow. This moment you're in, the confusion, the heartbreak, the exhaustion, it's not the end. It's the process of becoming someone new, someone stronger, someone wiser, someone you were always meant to be. Jung believed that the human soul has two sides, the light and the shadow. The light is everything you show to the world, your smile, your confidence, your dreams. But the shadow, that's the part you hide, your fears, your regrets, your anger, your pain. And here is the truth. Your comeback begins when you stop running from your shadow, because that darkness inside you holds the key to your greatest power. Maybe right now you feel lost. You don't recognize yourself anymore. The things that once made you happy don't make sense now. But what if I told you this phase of falling apart is your soul calling you home? Sometimes the universe has to shatter your old identity so you can finally meet who you really are. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Think about that. Maybe all those failures, heartbreaks, and rejections weren't random. They were mirrors, showing you what still lives in your unconscious. The wounds that need healing, the beliefs that must be released. So if life feels like it's breaking you, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You are not being buried, you are being planted. Every dark night, every tear, every sleepless moment is watering your rebirth. The universe is whispering, don't give up, you're almost there. When Jung spoke about individuation, he meant becoming whole, integrating your light and your shadow, your joy and your pain, your strength and your vulnerability. You cannot become whole by pretending everything is fine. You must face yourself honestly, deeply, courageously. And that is exactly what this moment of your life is doing. It is holding up a mirror with no filters. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you failed at something you loved. Maybe you've lost people you thought would stay forever. But Jung's philosophy teaches us nothing is truly lost. Every ending is an invitation to rebirth. The death of your old self makes space for your higher self, the one that is fearless, conscious, and free. So don't fight this phase. Don't run from your silence. Don't numb your pain. Sit with it. Feel it. Because pain, when felt fully, transforms. And when it transforms, you rise. The comeback never begins in comfort. It begins in chaos, when you have nothing left to lose except your illusions. That is when the real you emerges. The you that does not need validation, does not chase approval, does not fear being alone.
If you're here, it's not by accident. Something inside you already knows you're meant for more. You were never broken, just unfinished. And this is the moment life is shaping you into who you were born to become. Because the universe never wastes pain, it recycles it into power. And that power will fuel your comeback, the kind of comeback even destiny bows to. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and imagine this. What if everything that fell apart was actually falling into place? What if the storm wasn't here to destroy you, but to clear the path ahead? Pain has an intelligence. It strips away everything false, the fake smiles, fake dreams, fake identities, until only what's real remains, you. And once you face yourself, without masks, something extraordinary happens. The same things that once hurt you begin to heal you. The same darkness that once scared you begins to teach you. And that's when you realize this breakdown was never a curse. It was your awakening. Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." Most people spend their entire lives chasing things outside of themselves. Love, success, money, validation. But real transformation begins the moment you turn inward. The moment you stop blaming the world and start asking, what is this trying to show me? Because every pain is a message. Every loss is a teacher. Every failure is an initiation. You are not the same person you were a year ago, not even a month ago. You've walked through fire. You've cried yourself to sleep and still found the strength to rise again. That is not weakness. That is evolution. One day, you'll look back and realize, this pain, this confusion, this lonely chapter was the most powerful turning point of your entire life. Maybe right now you're tired of being strong. Maybe you're waiting for a sign that all of this is going to make sense. So here it is. This moment, this message, this silence is your sign. The universe is aligning everything in your favor. The people who left were meant to leave. The doors that closed were never your doors. The delay, the rejection, the detour, all of it was divine redirection. You are not behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And every soul that has ever made a great comeback first walked through a great collapse. You are not at the end of your story. You are in the middle of your transformation. Think about the phoenix. It has to burn completely before it rises from its ashes. You too are burning away your old identity, your old fears, your old limitations. The fire you're in is not punishment, it's purification. Because you cannot step into your next chapter while carrying the weight of who you used to be. You have to let it go. Jung called this the dark night of the soul, the phase where everything feels disconnected, hopeless, empty. But in truth, your soul is shedding everything false. Your ego is dissolving. Your heart is learning to trust something deeper than logic, your intuition. You are learning to surrender, not to give up, but to trust. Trust that what's meant for you will always find you, even if everything else falls apart. And when that realization hits, a quiet strength rises within you. You begin to move with peace instead of panic. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop forcing and start flowing. You begin to understand that the universe never takes anything from you, it only replaces it with something better, something real. So if you feel like you're breaking, keep going. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. Soon, everything you lost will return in a higher form. Better people, deeper love, greater purpose, stronger self-belief. This is your comeback season. Not because you're fighting the world, but because you're finally aligning with yourself.
You've faced your darkness. You've met your shadow. And now you're ready to live with awareness. That is the real victory. Not the trophies, not the applause, but the quiet knowing that you have become whole. You are not who you were before the pain. You are wiser now. Softer, but stronger. Calmer, but deeper. You've stopped needing to prove yourself because you finally know yourself. And that's what Jung meant when he said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. So rise, not with anger, not with fear, but with faith. Your soul has already survived everything that was meant to destroy it. Now it's time to live the comeback story that was written for you long before you even knew it began. The universe is not done with you. It's just getting started. And soon you'll realize the pain that once broke you has become the very reason you shine. Because this was never the end of your story. This is the beginning of your greatest chapter, the comeback of your life. And in that stillness, you find something no external success could ever give you: peace. That's what this comeback is really about. Not becoming someone new, but remembering who you've always been beneath the noise. The one who always had strength, but forgot it. The one who always had worth, but doubted it. The one who always had purpose, but became lost, chasing things that never truly mattered. You're not becoming stronger. You are simply remembering your strength. Every scar on your heart now tells a story, not of defeat, but of courage. The nights you cried were never wasted. They watered your roots. The moments when you thought you couldn't go on, those were the moments that built the foundation of your soul. And now look at you, still here, still breathing, still standing. Maybe tired, but unbroken. Maybe scarred, but wiser. That's what a comeback looks like. Not loud, not perfect, but real. You'll start noticing subtle shifts. The same situations that once drained you won't affect you anymore. The people who hurt you will no longer hold power over you. And the dreams that once felt impossible will begin to feel natural again. Because you've raised your vibration, your consciousness, your energy. You're no longer fighting the world. You're flowing with it. Remember this. The universe doesn't reward perfection. It rewards alignment. When you're true to yourself, doors open effortlessly. Synchronicities appear. You meet the right people at the right time, and your outer world begins to reflect your inner transformation. That's the secret Jung spoke of. Once you integrate your inner world, your outer reality shifts like magic. Maybe right now things still look messy. Maybe you can't see the progress yet. But trust this, the healing is happening. Even when you can't feel it, your soul is realigning. Even in the silence, the universe is rearranging everything for your growth. You're stepping into a version of yourself that no longer settles for less, no longer fears rejection, no longer doubts divine timing. Because your comeback isn't about revenge, it's about peace. The peace that comes when you finally understand that everything happened exactly the way it needed to for your awakening. You were never behind. You were always being guided. You were never lost. You were being led home. And soon there will come a day, quietly, unexpectedly, when you'll smile and realize you made it. The storm passed. The fire burned, but it purified you. You'll feel a deep calm, not because life is perfect, but because you are no longer afraid of imperfection. You'll carry your past not as pain, but as power, because you survived what was meant to break you and became something greater because of it. Jung reminds us, the soul does not grow in comfort. It grows in chaos. It matures through loss. It awakens through pain. So if you're still walking through the storm, do not lose heart. Every step you take in the dark brings you closer to the dawn. And when the light finally touches your life, you'll understand why you had to walk through the shadows first. This was never about just surviving. It was about evolving, about remembering that your spirit was never fragile. It was forged in fire.
And that is why this moment is not your ending. It is your resurrection, the greatest comeback of your life. If these words reached your heart today, take a breath. This message didn't show up by accident. You found it because your soul is ready to heal, to rise, to begin again. Remember, your pain does not define you. Your comeback does. And even when the world goes quiet, your inner voice still whispers, "Keep going. You're almost there." This is your awakening. This is your return to yourself. This is where healing begins, gently, quietly, powerfully from within.